Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now Cousins throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rodgers. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Cousins over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Play fake. Cousins. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, Stafford dumping it off for Johnson. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense. And he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game. Plays with passion.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He completes it to Tate. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. The quick slant caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jesse James, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch them.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Second down, Cousins to Decker over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A first down throw for Cousins. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Cousins again. And he's got Rodgers. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Going to give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, now here we go. First.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he coughed it up. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. They go play action here on 1st down. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A gain of 32 that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Cousins now. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jared Davis coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Cousins. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Carlson able to put this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On second down, Johnson. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
On first down, it's Stafford. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Stafford going to come up first and 10, and he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And his throw is incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
21.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And Tate's got it. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They'll run it with Johnson. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball.
Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate as the first half is winding down. And the Lions add on to their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the 2nd half is underway. Returnable for Dorsett. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So a decent gain. But all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Stafford on first down. Caught right side, Tate. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, go here!
Here's Johnson. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeves. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, Tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Handoff comes to Cook. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Play action now. Cousins. He's going to float this one deep. Looking for Decker, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And some space here. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. They couldn't hook up with Decker that time.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Oh, nice move. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And that's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. A give. This is Cook. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good.
They go play action. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Cliff Averill in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles? And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. Here's a look at Golden Tate as he heads back onto the field now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On third down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a second and 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. To throw is Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a third and long situation. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Lions on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They snap it to Stafford. And it is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Listen to me.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Lets it fly for Thielen, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Room here to run. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Johnson looking to impress early on with an eye toward more carries. 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use. Here in the final stages. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Cousins on first down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing is Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. First down. Here's Cousins. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Cousins now from the 50 to Decker over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. To the air again, it's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Detroit, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.